गुड मॉर्निंग फ्रेंड्स। आप सबों का वन सेकेंड बहुत बहुत अभिनंदन। इस वीडियो में बात करेंगे करंट अफेयर से बहुत ही महत्वपूर्ण प्रश्नों का एक शानदार कलेक्शन है। अब बने रहिए इस चैनल में, देखते रहिए, सीखते रहिए, आगे बढ़ते रहिए, क्योंकि कहा गया है कि रेयरेस्ट ऑफ ऑल ह्यूमन क्वालिटी, रेयरेस्ट ऑफ ऑल ह्यूमन क्वालिटी इज कंसिस्टेंसी। व्हाट? कंसिस्टेंसी। कंसिस्टेंसी। अगर आप अपने दिमाग को रोज कहिएगा मैं कंसिस्टेंट रहूंगा, definitely you will because just because of your mind, how it's think. If your mind is thinking yes I can, just because I want to do that, because it's give me some energy, some motivate, some dopamine, because I love that. That's why you should be always try to maintain it of your consistency is the key of any achievement. So let's start. Okay, first question on your screen. Consider the following statement about उद्धम सिंह। उद्धम सिंह के बारे में पूछा जा रहा है। He was associated with गदर पार्टी and Indian Workers Association. As a Hindustan Socialist Republican Association member, he was one of the revolutionists involved in Central Assembly bombing case. He assassinated Brigadier General Dyer, who was responsible for Amritsar massacres in 1990. He was the founder of Azad Party, an offshoot of the Gadar movement. I think this is a very good question, and it's a very easy question. You can eliminate with the knowing about 3 and 2. If you know about just only 2, I think 2 will be not in your answer. So 1 and 4, of course, is your right answer. Let's see something special about it. It was during the time in the United States that he got deeply involved in Gadar movement and become one of its prominent activists. Singh illegally migrated to US in 1924 via Mexico, eventually settling in San Francisco, the epicenter of the Gadar movement in North America. As a member of the US based Gadar movement, Uddham Singh acquainted himself with his literature and traveled across the country on behalf of the party to recruit members and raise funds. He arrived in India with the intention of accelerating and radicalizing the anti colonial struggle, bringing with arms and Gadarite propaganda. However, on the 13th August 1927, he was arrested in the Amritsar under the Arms Act. Uddham Singh was sentenced to 5 years imprisonment. Since he was a difficult prisoner for the authorities to manage, he was transferred from jail to jail, one jail to another jail. It was in one of those jails that he met Bhagat Singh and other revolutionaries from the Hindustan Socialist Republican Association (HSRA) were imprisoned in Mianwali jail for killing J.P. Saunders and bombing the Legislative Assembly. Uddham Singh quickly befriended Bhagat Singh and was so captivated by his charisma, and he called him Guru and best friend and carried a photo of him in his wallet. He is known as the patent assassin, or the lone assassin who shot dead Michael O'Dyer. It's Michael O. Dyer, the Lieutenant Governor of the Punjab, under whose administration the infamous Amritsar massacres took place, who later even endorsed Brigadier General Dyer, the perpetrator of the killings. In addition, his movement or involvement with the Ghadar party, Udham Singh also launched his one party, that is Azad Party, as an offshoot of the Ghadar movement. PM paid tribute to the martyrs ahead of Independence Day. Next question about which of the following given pair or pairs is correctly matched. One side is solar power plant and other the state. Ramagundam floating power solar power plant, that is in Telangana. Kayam Kulam floating solar power plant. कुमुथी सोलर पावर प्लांट या कामुथी सोलर पावर प्लांट या फिर बाडला सोलर पार्क. Where are they situated? If you know about that, that's good. Otherwise, you can remember about all the questions, all the given pair, because just one is correct and fourth is also correct. So answer will be V. In recent event, Prime Minister dedicated and laid the foundation of the various green energy projects of NTPC worth over 52,000 crore, not 52,000, sorry, 5,200 crore. He inaugurated the 100 megawatt Ramagundam floating solar power jet, that is in Telangana. Kayam Kulam floating solar project, that is in Kerala. Kamuthi solar project, that is a photovoltaic power station, that is in Madurai, I mean Tamil Nadu. And Badla या फिर बदला या भाडला solar power plant, that is in Rajasthan. Pington Island, recently in news, belongs to which of the following country? Is it in, yes, of course, it is in China. Pington. China's military exercise comes ahead of a US Speaker Nancy Pelosi plan to visit the island, Taiwan country. Okay, so this is in Taiwan. Let's see the figure. Pington Island, that is in Fujian province of China. Next question about International Financial Service Center, IFSC. It has been established under the Special Economic Zone Act 2005. All the members of the IFSC authority will have a term of 5 years and not eligible for reappointment. I think B is absolutely incorrect. One should be an answer. No, both are incorrect because International Financial Service Center Authority recently stabilized, just to 2020, under the International Financial Service Center Authority Act 2019, under the International Financial Services Center Authority Act 2019. It is a headquarter at the gift city, Gandhinagar in Gujarat. The International Financial Services Center Authority will consist of 9 members appointed by the central government. All the members of IFSC authority will have a term of 3 years subject to reappointment. PM Modi led foundation stone of IFSCA headquarters in Gandhinagar. Consider the following statements with respect to monitoring of illegal killing of elephants program, that means Mike program. The objective of the Mike program are set out in the Bonn Convention. All the Mike sites in India are located in eastern, northeastern in India. The Mike program is entirely dependent on the donor support, which are the correct. Just three is the right, because you know that the objective of the Mike program are set out in the Convention on International Trade in Endangered Species, that means CITES, under regulation. Convention on Migratory Species is known as Bonn Convention. You know about that Mike sites in India are Chirang Ripu Elephant Reserve, Demoli Elephant Reserve, Dihang Patkai Elephant Reserve, Garo Hills Elephant Reserve, Eastern Duars Elephant Reserve, Mayurbhanj Elephant Reserve, Shivalik Elephant Reserve, Mysore Elephant Reserve, Nilgiri Elephant Reserve, Wayanad Elephant Reserve. They are located in South where India also. My program is entirely dependent on donor support. The European Union has been the most important donor for the MIC programming or program and has funded implementation in Africa since its inception in 2001. Consider the following statement about Drones Rules 2021. An approval from the local body is required for operation of drones in green zones. Law enforcement agencies have been empowered under the rules to declare the temporary red zone for a specified period. Every drone, including those meant for R&D purposes, is required to be integrated or registered with the Digital Sky platform. Only and only two is right, because every drone except for those meant for research development testing purposes is required to be registered and should have a unique identification number. An airspace map of the country segregating the entire airspace into red, yellow, green zone is available on the Digital Sky platform. Operation of drones in red and yellow zones is subject to approval of the central government and concerned air traffic control ATC authority respectively. No approval is required for the operation of drones in green zones. The state government, union territory administration and the law enforcement agency been empowered have been empowered under the rules to declare a temporary red zones for a specified period. Drones are required to have a necessary type of certification issued by the Director General of Civil Aviation DGCA. No type certification is however required in the case of nano drones, I mean up to 250 gram all of weight, and a model drones made for research and recreation purpose. Consider the following statement about Space Liability Convention of 1972. The launching states are liable for the damage caused by their space objects on the surface of the Earth. The convention also holds the launching states responsible for the space junk crashing back to Earth, which are the correct about Space Liability Convention of 1972. Just only and only A is the right answer. Space Liability Convention of 1972 defines the responsibility in case a space object causes harm. The treaty says that a launching state be absolutely liable to pay compensation for damage caused by its objects on the surface of the earth or to aircraft and the liable for damage due to its halts in space. The convention also provides for procedures for the settlement of the claims for the damage, which are there is no law against the space junk crashing back to the earth. Consider the following statement about International North-South Transport Corridor (INSTC). It is a multimodal transportation established by India, Russia, Iraq in St. Petersburg in 2000. This corridor connects the Indian Ocean and Persian Gulf to the Black Sea via Iran, which are the incorrect. Both are incorrect. International North-South Transport Corridor, that is 7,200 kilometer long multimodal transportation network encompassing sea, road, rail routes to offer the shortest route of connectivity. It was established on 12 September 2000 in St. Petersburg by Iran, Russia, and India for purpose the purpose of promoting transportation cooperation among the member states. It links the Indian Ocean to the Caspian Sea via Persian Gulf onwards into the Russia and northern Europe. Chahabar port to be linked with international north-south transport corridor to enhance the connectivity with Central Asia. Consider the following statement regarding Chakma and Hajong community. They fled Myanmar and migrated to Arunachal Pradesh in 1964-1965. They have been granted citizenship under the Citizenship Amendment Act 2019, which are the correct or about Chakma Hajong community. Both are incorrect because they fled from Bangladesh, which means East Pakistan, from and migrated to Arunachal Pradesh in 1964-1965. They have been not granted the citizenship under the Citizenship Amendment Act 2019 because you know about that. There is a inner permit line concept out of some states in which Arunachal Pradesh is one of them. Let's see. They fled East Pakistan, which is now Bangladesh in 1964, 1965, and come to India and settled in Arunachal Pradesh. They are ethnic people who lived in Chittagaon Hills tracts, and most of which are located in Bangladesh. Chakma and Hajong migrants had submitted their citizenship application under the Section 5 of the Citizenship Act 1955. The rest are the citizens by birth as per the rule of Citizenship Act 1955. They don't indirectly come into the ambit of the Citizenship Amendment Act 2019 because Arunachal Pradesh is among the states exempted from the CAA since it has an inner line permit to regulate the entry of outsiders. Al Najha 4 is a joint military exercise conducted between Al Najha 4. Al Najha 4 that is a military joint military exercise between Oman and India. There is a joint military exercise Al Najha 4 between Indian Army and Royal Army of Oman. Consider the following statement about Mission Amrit Sarovar. The mission is aimed at developing and rejuvenating 75 water bodies in each district of the country. Bhaskaracharya National Institute for Space Application and Geoinformatics is the technical partner of Amrit Sarovar mission. Niti Aayog is the implementing agency at the state level. Which are the correct about Amrit Sarovar mission? First is right, second is right, but third is absolutely incorrect. Because you know that with a view of to conserve water for the future, Prime Minister Narendra Modi launched a new mission that is Amrit Sarovar in 2022. The mission is aimed at developing and rejuvenating 75 water bodies in each district of the country as a part of the celebration of Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav. In total, it would lead to creation of 50,000 water bodies of a size of about 1 acre or more. Bhaskaracharya National Institute for Space Application and Geoinformatics BISAGN has been engaged as a technical partner for the mission. The mission works through the states and districts through the refocusing of various schemes such as Mahatma Gandhi NREGS, 14th Finance Commission grants, Pradhan Mantri Krishi Sinchai Yojana sub scheme such as watershed development component, Har Khet Ko Pani, besides states one scheme. It may also be mentioned here that the mission encourages mobilization of citizens and non-government resources for supplementing these efforts. The mission has been launched with a whole of government approach in six ministries department, namely Department of Rural Development, Department of Land Resources, Department of Drinking Water and Sanitation, Department of Water Resources, Ministry of Panchayati Raj, Ministry of Forest, Environmental and Climate Changes. Consider the following statements. National Waterway 1 passes through 4 states. Okay. National Water 2 is the river is on River Brahmaputra water system. National Water 3 runs from Kollam to Kottapuram in Kerala. National Water 4 includes River Godavari, River Krishna water system, which are incorrect. Choose the incorrect statements. Nothing is wrong, all are correct. Let's see something about it. National Water 1, NW1, Ganga Bhagirathi, that means Hooghly river system, that means from Haldia to Allahabad. That location, Uttar Pradesh, Bihar, Jharkhand and West Bengal. NW2, Brahmaputra River, that means from Dogri to Sadia, location Assam. National water third, west coast of Kottapuram, Kollam, location Kerala, and Kakinada, Puducherry, along with Godavari River, Bhadra, Chalam, and Rajmundri. Krishna River stretches as a national waterfall. Consider the following statement about Small Satellite Launch Vehicle (SSLV). It is a launch vehicle designed to orbit satellites weighing less than 500 kg in the low Earth orbit. It is a three-stage rocket configured with three solid propulsion stage and liquid propulsion-based velocity trimming module as a terminal stage. I think you know about that. Both statements are right. SSLV, Small Satellite Launch Vehicle, is a rocket that is designed to orbit satellites weighing less than 500 kg in the low Earth orbit and 300 kg to the Sun synchronous orbit (SSO). SSLV is the smallest vehicle at 110 mass at ISRO. It will take only 72 hours to integrate, unlike 70 days taken now for a launch vehicle. The other features include flexibility in accommodating multiple satellites, launch on demand feasibility, minimum launch infrastructure requirement, etc. It is a three-stage launch vehicle configured with three solid propulsion stage and liquid propulsion based velocity trimming module (VVTM) as a terminal stage. Consider the following statement regarding United Nations Peacekeeping Force (UNPF). Peacekeepers are recruited directly by the selection committee of United Nations General Assembly and are also called as a UN Army. They are often referred to as a blue berets or blue helmets. I think just B is the right answer. Yes, B is the right answer. Because you know about that peacekeeper remains members of their respective armed forces and don't constitute an independent UN army, as the UN does not have such a force. In cases where direct UN involvement is not considered appropriate or feasible, the Council authorizes regional organizations such as NATO, the Economic Community of West African States, or coalition of willing countries to undertake peacekeeping or peace enforcement tasks. They are often referred to as a blue berets or blue helmets because of their light blue berets or helmets. Mineral security partnership seen in news is in the context of the rare earth metal. United States, along with the partner countries including Australia, Canada, Germany, UK, announced the formation of Mineral Security Partnership, a pact that will focus on securing a steady supply of rare earth material for its members. The MSP will help members countries ensure they have a reliable supply of rare earth material in the years to come, which are used to manufacture electric vehicle batteries as well as battery for consumer electronics. MSP members includes Australia, Canada, Finland, France, Germany, Japan, Republic of Korea, Sweden, United Kingdom, United States, and European Commission. Which are the incorrectly matched? Satkosia, Nanda Lake, Webinar Wetland Complex, Rangathittu Bird Sanctuary, Rangnath Thittu, it's a Rangnath. Ranga is a Ranganath Thittu Bird Sanctuary. Where it is incorrectly matched? I think one should be out of them. Yes, one should be in your answer. And four. One and oh, I think it's a one and two should be. Yes. India adds 10 more wetlands designated to as a Ramsar site to make total 64 sites covering an area of 12,50 and 360 hectare in a country. The 10 new sites includes in Tamil Nadu, in Goa, Karnataka, MP, Odisha. Tamil Nadu, Konthakulam Bird Sanctuary, Gulf of Mannar, Marine Biosphere Reserve, Bevanar Wetland Complex. Let's see one by one where it is. Odisha, that is Satkosia Gorge, Odisha. Nanda Lake, that is in Goa. Bevanur Wetland Complex, it is in Kerala. Rangnathittu Bird Sanctuary, that is in Karnataka. Sirpur Wetlands, that is in MP. Consider the following statement about exercise Black Pitch. Pitch Black. It is a biennial exercise hosted by Australian Air Force. Only the members of the Quad grouping are allowed to participate in this exercise. Not only one A will answer. Continuing the series of military exercise with countries in Indo-Pacific, and Indian Air Force will join 16 other nations, including Quad partner. Later this month, for the exercise Pitch Black, the biennial exercise hosted by Australian Air Force. The exercise will host up to 100 personnel and up to 100 aircraft from around the globe, including participation from Australia, France, Germany, Indonesia, India, Singapore, Japan, Republic of Korea, UK, the Philippines, the Thailand, the UAE, the Canada, the Netherlands, the Malaysia, the New Zealand, the US, significantly Germany, Japan, Republic of Korea will be participating fully for the first time. Consider the following statements. Cotton leaf curl disease is a viral disease of the plant caused by white fly attacks. The leaves of the infected cotton curl both upward and downward. Choose the incorrect statements. Only and only D is the right answer. White fly attacks have led the spread of cotton leaf curl disease, clucud, clucud, across the cotton belt of Punjab, Haryana, Rajasthan. Clucud is a viral disease that affects the overall growth of the cotton plant and hits its yield. Leaves of infected cotton curl both upward and downward. Consider the following statement regarding Convention on International Trade in Endangered Species of Wild Fauna and Flora. All member states of United Nations are party to the treaty. CITES is legally binding on the parties. The treaty consists of three appendices, with Appendix 1 having the highest protection. Which are the correct? Absolutely, one is incorrect. So your answer will be 2 and 3. You know about that? CITES is a multilateral treaty to protect endangered plants, animals. All member states of United Nations are the party, the treaty, with exceptions. The Democratic Peoples of Republic of Korea, Federated States of Micronesia, Haiti, Kiribati, Marshall Island, Nauru, South Sudan, East Timor, Turkmenistan, Tuvalu are not the member of CITES. CITES is a legally binding on the parties and it does not tag. However, it does not tag place the national laws. Rather, it provides a framework respected by each party which must adopt their own domestic legislation to implement the CITES at the national level. CITES was drafted as a result of a resolution adopted in 1963 at the meeting of the members of the IUCN. Each protected species are or population is included in one of the three lists called appendix. Appendix that lists a species or a population that reflects the extent of threat to it and controls that apply to trade. Appendix 1 about 1200 species and species that are threatened with extinction and are or may be affected by trade. Commercial trade in wild caught specimen of these species is illegal, permitted only in exceptional license circumstances. Appendix 2 about almost 21,000 species are species that are not necessarily threatened with extinction but may become so unless trade in specimen of such species is subject to strict regulation in order to avoid utilization incompatible with the survival of the species in wild. Appendix thirds about 170 species are species that are listed after one member country has asked other sides parties for assistance in controlling trade in species. Shankara, Shankara goat is seen in Ladakh. Changtai or Changpa or Chankara. It's a Changara. It's a breed of Kashmiri goat. It's a Kashmiri goat. It's a Kashmir goat native to high plateaus of Ladakh in the northern India. It is closely associated with nomadic Changpa people of the Changthang Plateau. It may also be known as a Ladakh Pasmina or Kashmiri. The intense cold of region cause the goats to grow a thick undercoat which is harvested to produce the fine Pasmina trade of Kashmiri. Next question about Mahatma Gandhi National Rural Employment Guarantee Act, that means MNREGA. It aims to enhance the livelihood security in rural areas by providing at least 3 months of the wage employment. Social audit is mandatory for the works carried out under MNREGA. MNREGA scheme forms a part of the core scheme, which are correct. Only 2 and 3 is the right because you know that 100 days, at least 100 days work should be. It aims to enhance livelihood security in the rural areas by providing at least 100 days of the wage employment in a financial year to at least one member of every household whose adult members volunteer to do unskilled manual work. Women are guaranteed one-third of the jobs made available under the Magnarega. Magnarega has mandated social audit of all works executed under the Magnarega. The Ministry of Rural Development (MRD), the Government of India is monitoring the entire implementation of the scheme is in association with the state government. For the core of the core scheme, like Mahatma Gandhi National Rural Employment Guarantee (MGNERA) GA, the union government gives majority of the fundings to the states. Consider the following statement regarding fair and remunerative price (FRP). FRP is the price declared by the government which mills are legally bound to pay to farmers for the cane procured for them. FRP. The payments of FRP across the country is governed under the Essential Commodities Act 1955, which are the correct about FRP. I think just both statements are correct. FRP is the price declared by the government which mills are legally bound to pay to the farmers for the cane procured for them from them. Mills have the option of signing an agreement with farmers which would allow them to pay the FRP in installments. Delays in payment can attract an interest up to 15% per annum. The Sugar Commissioner can recover unpaid FRP as dues in revenue recovery by attaching properties of the mills. The payment of FRP across the country is governed by the Sugar Cane Control Order 1966 issued under the Essential Commodities Act 1955, which mandates the payment within the 14 days of the date of the delivery of the can. It has been determined on the recommendation of the Commissioner or Commission of Agriculture Cost and Price. In the recommendation of the Commission for Agriculture and Cost and Prices (CACP) and announced by Cabinet Committee on Economic Affairs, which is chaired by Prime Minister. Consider the following statement with respect to National Anti-Doping Bill 2022. National Anti-Doping Bill 2022 prohibits athletes support personnel and other person from engaging in doping. The bill provides for constituting NDA NADA as a statutory body headed by the Director General appointed by the central government. It also seeks to give effect to the International Olympic Committee, the International Convention Against Doping in Sports. I think 3 is absolutely incorrect. 1 and 2 is the right. The bill prohibits athlete support personnel, and other person from engaging in doping under the new legislation. Violation of anti-doping rules may result in disqualification of results, including forfeiture of medals, points, prizes, ineligibility to participate in competition, or even for a prescribed period, and financial sanction. The bill provides for constituting NADA as a statutory body headed by Director General appointed by the central government, and function of the agency including planning, implementing, monitoring anti-doping activities, investigating anti-doping rule violation. It also seeks to give effect to the United Nations Educational and Scientific and Cultural Organization International Convention Against Doping in Sports and compliance with such other obligations and commitments. Rajya Sabha passed the National Anti-Doping Bill 2022 last evening. With the reference to the trade deficit, consider the following statement. If a trade deficit increases, GDP of a country decreases. Higher trade deficit can decreases the local currency value, which are the incorrect. Nothing is incorrect. Both are correct about trade deficit. You know about that trade deficit is one factor used to calculate countries' gross domestic product GDP, a measure of the size of the economy. If the trade deficit increases, the GDP decreases. Higher trade deficit can decreases the local currency values. This is because the demand for the foreign currency is more than the foreign demand for local currency. Chandler Oval, it's a rotation of Earth. Chandler Oval or Chandler variation of latitude is a small deviation of the Earth axis of rotation relative to solid Earth, which was discovered by the named American astronomer Carlo Chandler. Chandler oval is an example of kind of motion that can occur for a freely rotating object that is not a sphere. This is called a free nutation. Somewhat confusingly, the direction of the Earth rotation axis relative to the stars also varies with different periods, and these motions caused by tidal forces of the moon and sun are also called nutation, except for the slowest, which are precession of the equinox. Consider the following statement about Criminal Procedure Act 2022. The Act empowers authorities to collect physical and biological sample of the person detained under the prevention detention law, or I mean preventive detention law. Refusal to give data is considered as an offense under the Act. National Crime Record Bureau is the central agency to maintain the records of the collected sample. 1 and 2 are correct. But let's see. 1, 2 and 3. 3 is also correct. Criminal Procedure Act 2022 expands the type of data may be collected, person from whom such a data may be collected, the authority that may authorize such collection, persons whose data may be collected, convicted or arrested or for any offense. However, biological sample may be taken forcibly only from person arrested for offense against a woman or a child, or if the offense carries a minimum 7 years imprisonment, या फिर persons detained under any preventive detention law on the order of the magistrate from any person, not just to aid investigation. Under the Act, assistance or resistance refusal to give data will be considered as an offense of obstructing a public servant from doing his duty, doing his her duty. National Crime Records Bureau (NCRB) will be the central agency to maintain the records. It will share the data with law enforcement agencies. Further, states may notify agency to collect, preserve, and share data in their respective jurisdiction. Data collected will be retained in digital or electronic form for 75 years. Records will be destroyed in the case of persons who are acquitted after all appeals, released without trial. Okay. Consider the following statement. Lifestyle for environment, I mean life, is an intergovernmental organization led by India and France to bring individuals' behavior at the forefront The global climate action narrative, life envisions replacing the prevalent huge and disposed economic with a circular economy. Life, global call for leads and papers is an initiative of the government of India to invite papers, ideas from across the world to derive climate friendly behaviors, which are the incorrect. First is incorrect. The concept of lifestyle for the environment was introduced by Indian PM during 26th United Nations Climate Change Conference of the Parties 26 in Glasgow in 2021, which urged people to make changes in one's lifestyle that would contribute towards the saving the environment. Life is the first of its kind global movement led by India in the partnership with the other countries that will provide the world with a unique people powered platform to relentlessly focus on bringing individuals and collective actions to the core of the climate action narrative. Life envisions replacing the prevalent and huge anti-disposed economic governed by mindless and destructive consumption with a circular economic which would be defined by the mindful and deliberate utilization. The mission intends to nudge individuals to undertake simple acts in their daily lives that can contribute significantly to the climate change when embraced across the world. The launch also initiated the life, the global for calls for ideas and papers, inviting individuals, universities, think tanks, non-profits, and other worldwide to submit measurable and scalable behaviors change solution that can derive climate-friendly behaviors. Mission Raftar is associated with rail transport. Mission Raftar is a mission envisaged for the speed enhancement and to achieve a target of doubling average speed of freight trains and increasing the average speed of super-fast या mail या express train by 25 km/h. Consider the following statement about maintenance and welfare of the Parents and Senior Citizens Act 2007. Children are under legal obligation to maintain either or both of their parents according to this act. The definition of parents in this act means father or mother of only biological nature, which are the correct. I think both are not correct. Only one is correct. Maintenance and Welfare of Parents and Senior Citizens Act 2007 is a legislation initiated by Ministry of Social Justice and Empowerment and Government of India to provide more effective provisions for maintenance and welfare of parents and senior citizens. It makes it a legal obligation for the children and heirs to provide maintenance to senior citizens and parents by monthly allowances. It also provides simple, speedy, inexpensive mechanism for the protection of life and property of the older person. Parents mean father or mother, whether biological, adoptive, stepfather, stepmother, whether or not father or not, or mother is a senior citizens. It makes a legal obligation for the children and Here to provide a maintenance to the senior citizens and parents and monthly allowances. It also provides simple, speedy, inexpensive mechanism for the protection of life and property of the older persons. Delhi High Court ordered Delhi government to ensure strict compliance with the above act. Consider the following statement with respect to Startup India Seed Funds SISFS. The funds aims to provide financial assistance to startup for a proof of concept, prototype development, and product trials. Startup to avail this scheme should be recognized by DPIIT and incorporated not more than 5 years ago at the time of application. Which are the correct? Only one. The provides It provides financial assistance to eligible Department for Promotion of Industry and International Trade recognized startups for the proof of concept, prototype development, product trials, market entry, commercialization. SISFS is disbursed to eligible startups through the eligible incubators across India. A startup recognized by DPIIT incorporated not more than 2 years ago at the time of application to avail this scheme. Consider the following statements. The Vice President is the second highest constitutional office in India. Electoral College of Vice President consists of both elected and nominated members from Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. Vice President can be removed from his office by a resolution raised only in Rajya Sabha and passed by effective majority by Lok Sabha. Third is absolutely incorrect. 1 and 2 is the right answer. The Vice President is the second highest of constitutional office in India. Vice President is the ex officio chairperson of Council of States or Rajya Sabha. Electoral College, as per the Article 66 of the Constitution of India, the Vice President is elected by the members of the Electoral College. He is elected in accordance with the system of proportional representation by means of single transferable vote, and voting at such elections shall be secret ballot. Electoral College consists of elected and nominated members from Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha only. The removal of the Vice President, a formal impeachment like in the case of President of India, is not required for the removal of Vice President. Vice President can be removed from his office by a resolution raised only in Rajya Sabha, passed by the effective majority and agreed upon by a simple majority in Lok Sabha. Prior to passing the resolution in Rajya Sabha, 14 days notice should be served to the Vice President. Which are the following pair is correctly matched? It's the Mulla Priyar, Kerala, and Gandhi Sagar in MP, and Almaty Barn in Gujarat, Ukai Dam in Chhattisgarh. I don't know, but 1 and 4 is absolutely right. Mulla Periyar, that is 126-year-old dam, that is located in the confluence of Mulla of Periyar rivers in the Kerala to Idukki district. Ukai Dam, that is in Tapi River, that is in Gujarat, and second longest dam after Sadar Sarovar. It is also known as a Ballabh Sagar. Lal Bahadur Shastri Dam, that is in Almaty Dam, also known as Lal Bahadur Shastri Dam, that is a hydroelectric project on Krishna River in northern Karnataka. Gandhi Sagar Dam is one of the 4 major dams built on Chambal River. The dam is located in the district of Madhya Pradesh. Consider the following statement. Cabinet Secretary is under the direct charge of the Prime Minister. Cabinet Secretary ranks 7th on the Indian order of preference. Cabinet Secretariat is the responsible for the administration of transaction and business and allocation of business rules. Only and only two is incorrect. The Cabinet Secretary is the top most executive official and senior most civil servants of the Government of India. See, he is under the direct charge of the PM and is appointed for a fixed tenure of 2 years. He or she is the ex officio head of the Civil Service Board, the Cabinet Secretariat, the IAS, and all the civil service under the rules of the business of the government. He or she ranks 11th of the Indian Order of the Precedence. Cabinet Secretariat is the responsible for the administration of the transaction of business and allocation of business rules 1961. Consider the following statements related to Rashtriya Arogya Nidhi (RAN). Rashtriya Arogya Nidhi is a central sector scheme set up as a fund under the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare. Assistance for the medical treatment in Rashtriya Arogya Nidhi is directly provided to the patient via Aadhaar card benefit transfer. Which are the correct? It is not a central sector scheme, I think. So B is the right answer. Both are incorrect. Earlier, that is known as National Illness Assistance Fund (NIAF). Rashtriya Arogya Nidhi is a centrally sponsored scheme. Set up a fund under the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare in 1997 with an aim to provide for financial assistance to patients living below the poverty line who are suffering from major life-threatening disease to receive medical treatment at any of the super specialty hospitals, institute, or of the government hospitals. The states are needed to create their one state illness fund in which central government provides funding to the extent of the 50% of the contribution made by the state government and union territories. Assistance is assistance in RAN is not directly provided to the patient but is given to the superintendent of the hospital in which the treatment is being taken. Assistance admissible for the treatment in the government hospital only. ध्यान दीजिएगा, assistance admissible for treatment in government hospital only. Central government, state government, PSU employees not eligible. Regional standardization forum seen in news. What is this? It's a digital transformation. The regional standardization forum is a platform for the constructive exchange of ideas, discussing standardization topics of including inter-ally India's experience in various sectors of technology like SDG and role of ITU standards, harnessing technology for digital and financial inclusion in emerging markets, evolving data value chain and digital health. ITU Regional Standardization Forum for Asia and Oceania region to be inaugurated soon. Consider the following statement about Jan Samarth portal. It provides a common platform for availing loan under certain credit-linked government scheme. It connects all the stakeholders like beneficiary, financial institution, government agency on a common platform. Aadhaar number is the only document required to avail benefits under any scheme. 3 is absolutely incorrect. Yes, 1 and 2 should be the answer. Applicant can access 13 credit-linked government scheme catering to your students, entrepreneurs, farmers, education loans, agriculture loans, business activity loans, livelihood loans. It provides a common platform for availing availing loan under the certain credit linked government scheme. It connects the all stakeholders like beneficiaries, financial institutions, central state government agency, nodal agency on a common platform. Each scheme has a different documentation requirement. To apply online, the portal, the basic documents required would be Aadhaar number, PAN, bank statements, etc. Consider the following statement about IDEX. IDEX aims to promote innovation and technology development in defense and aerospace by engaging industries including MSMEs, startups. IDEX is funded and managed by the Defense Innovation DIO, a unit under the Defense Research and Development Organization. Which are the correct about IDEX? Incorrect. Which are the incorrect? I think B is the incorrect. IDEX aims at creation of an ecosystem to foster innovation and technology development in defense and aerospace by engaging industries including MSME, startups, individual innovators, R&D institute, and academia. IDEX will be funded and managed by Defense Innovation Organization (DIO), which has been formed as a not-for-profit company as per the Section 8 of the Companies Act 2013 for this purpose. The two founder members in defense and public sector undertaking, Hall and Bell. IDEX will function as an executive arm of DIO, carrying out all required activities, while DIO will provide high-level policy guidelines to IDEX. Consider the following statement about Indian Virtual Herbarium. The portal aims to provide information on rich flora diversity of India through the online access. It was developed by the Indian Agriculture Research Institute. I think just A is the right answer. Indian Virtual Herbarium Portal. It aims to provide a complete information on herbarium specimens about the flora diversity of India and other countries stored in cabinet of the herbarium buildings through the online access. The database created is the largest storage of the information about plant diversity in India. It was developed by the scientists of the Botanical Survey of India (BSI). It will also aid the research studies and provide valuable insights to global plant research. Each record in the digital herbarium includes an image of the preserved plant specimen, scientific name, collection locality, collection date, collector name, barcode number. Consider the following statements regarding family codes. It is a mandatory for the state government to set up a family code for every city or town whose population exceed 1 million. There is no right to appeal. Hence, the judgment of the court is final and binding on the parties. No, one is right, only and only one. According to the Family Court Act 1984, it is mandatory for the state government to set up a family court for every city or town with population exceed 1 million. It was enacted by the establishment of family courts with a view to promote conciliation, secure speedy settlement of dispute relating to marriage and family affairs and for related matters. The Family Court Act provides for only one of the appeal which shall lie to the High Court. Recently, Rajya Sabha passed the Family Court Amendment Bill 2022. Combined Maritime Forces is the naval partnership Best in Bahrain. Combined Maritime Forces is a 34 nation maritime partnership. Best in Bahrain that undertakes counter-terrorism, counter-piracy, regional cooperation. It is commanded by U.S. Navy Vice Admiral. It consists of 34 members countries, include Australia, Bahrain, Brazil, France, Japan, Pakistan, United States, Yemen, and others. It comprises of the three task forces CTF 150, CTF 151, and CTF 152. Consider the following statement about Quit India movement. The slogan Quit India was coined by Yusuf Meher Ali. Women took active participation in the movement. Muslim League and Hindu Mahasabha pledged complete support to the movement, which are the correct. Only and only one and two is right. The slogan Quit India was coined by Yusuf Meher Ali, a socialist and a trade unionist who also served as a mayor of Bombay. A few years ago, in 1928, it was Meher Ali who had coined the slogan Simon Go Back. The women took participation in the movement of the Quit India. Female leaders like Usha Mehta helped set up underground radio station which led to the awakening about the movement. Muslim League and the Communist Party of India and the Hindu Mahasabha did not support the movement. Indian bureaucracy also did not support the movement. League was not in the favor of British leaving India without partitioning the country first. Communist Party supported the British since they were allied with the Soviet Union. Hindu Mahasabha openly opposed the call for Quit India movement and boycott it officially under the apprehension that the movement would create internal disorder and will endanger internal security during the war. Consider the following statement about International Mobile Equipment Identity Number. That means IMEI. IMEI, International Mobile Equipment Identity Number, is a unique number with a 15 digit that is used to identify a device on a mobile network. When a person uses the internet through his/her cellular service provider, IMEI number is used to verify the identity of his/her device. Which are the incorrect? Nothing is incorrect. International Mobile Equipment Identity IMEI is a unique number that is used to identify a device on a mobile network. It is 15 digit and is like your phone's unique identity. When you use the internet or place a call through your cellular device or service provider, then this number is used to verify the identity of your device. If you have a dual SIM phone, then you will have two IMEI numbers, two IMEI numbers for one for each slot. Delhi police is now planning to close ranks with the internet service provider and the Department of Telecommunication to block stolen or robbed phones using IMEI number. Consider the following statements. Ordinances cannot be used to revoke the fundamental rights of the citizens guaranteed by the Indian Constitution. To stay a law, the ordinance must be approved by Parliament within 6 weeks of its reassembly. An ordinance can be repromulgated only once. Absolutely, third is incorrect. 1 and 2 is absolutely right. Ordinance cannot be used to revoke the fundamental rights of the citizens guaranteed by the Indian Constitution. To stay a law, the ordinance must be approved by Parliament within 6 weeks of its reassembly. Its existence is terminated if the Parliament does not act within the 6 weeks of its reassembly. And an ordinance has to be converted into legislation within 42 days of the commencement of the Parliament session, or else it will lapse. An ordinance can be repromulgated only thrice. इंडिया की उड़ान इनिशिएटिव, think about it. इंडिया की उड़ान इनिशिएटिव, it is a part of आज़ादी का अमृत महोत्सव and its aims the showcasing the India's rich archives and featuring the artistic illustration. It is a initiative of Ministry of Culture and Microsoft. It's not a Microsoft, it's a Google. I think only and only one is the right answer. इंडिया की उड़ान initiative launched by as a part of आज़ादी का अमृत महोत्सव. It is the celebration of unwavering and undying spirit of India. It aims to take citizens to reach the culture, the heritage of India by means of its rich and archives and featuring artistic illustrations. This project launched based on the theme unwavering and undying spirit of India over the past 75 years. Ministry of Culture has launched India Ki Udan initiative in association with Google. This initiative seeks to celebrate unwavering and undying spirit of India and its achievement in last 75 years. Parwaj, that is scheme is recently launched. Kashmir is related to. It's a market linkage. Under the scheme, the government will provide a subsidy of 25% on freight charges in a bid to carry perishable fruits through air cargo. The subsidy will be provided to farmers through direct benefit transfer mode. The scheme is being implemented by the Jammu Kashmir Horticulture Produce Marketing and Processing Corporation. Consider the following statement about Katchal, Katchal Island. Katchal Island. It is part of Nicobar Island and it is located to the south of the Sentinel Island. Mangrove forest on the island is a propagule type, meaning they can become detached from a plant and give rise to a new plant. Only and only 2 is incorrect. Katcha Island. It is the part of the Nicobar Island and it is located to the south of the Sentinel Island. United States National Aeronautics and Space Administration (NASA) recently highlighted the loss of mangrove cover on Katchal Island, a part of India's Nicobar archipelago. The mangrove cover on Katchal will not come back. Its lack propagulus. A propagule is a vegetative structure that can become detached from a plant and give rise to a new plant. Vajra Prahar, that is exercise with United States of America. 13th edition of India-US Joint Special Exercise Vajra Prahar. Consider the following statement about Smile 75 initiative. Under the initiative, 75 identified municipal corporations will undertake comprehensive rehabilitation of persons engaged in the act of begging. It is implemented by the Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs. The financial assistance of 1,000 is provided by the central government under the initiative to reach the beneficiary for a period of 3 years. 3 is absolutely out of them. 3 तो बिल्कुल नहीं है. And 2 is also out of them. I think 1 is only right answer. Because you know that in the spirit of Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, Ministry of Social Justice and Empowerment of Government of India has identified 75 municipal corporations to implement comprehensive rehabilitation of persons engaged in the act of begging under the SMILE, support for marginalized individuals for livelihood and enterprise, named as SMILE 75 initiative. Under the SMILE 75 initiative, 75 municipal corporations in collaboration with NGOs and other stakeholders will cover several comprehensive welfare measures for the persons who are engaged in the act of begging, with the focus extensively on rehabilitation, provisions of medical facilities, counseling, awareness, education, skill development, economic linkage, and convergence with other government welfare programs. It is an initiative of Ministry of Social Justice and Empowerment. There is no such provisions in this initiative. Consider the following statements regarding Small Satellite Launch Vehicle (SSLV). SSLV is a three-stage launch vehicle configured with three solid propulsion stages. The launch vehicle can be assembled only vertically, unlike PSLV, which can be assembled both vertically as well as horizontally. Which are the correct? I think just A is the right answer. Small satellite launch vehicle is a three-stage launch vehicle configured with three solid propulsion stages and a liquid propulsion best velocity trimming module as a terminal stage. SSLV is a made keeping low cost, low turnaround time in mind with launch one demand, launch on demand flexibility under the minimal infrastructure requirements. The launch vehicle can be assembled both vertically like the existing PSLV and geosynchronous satellite launch vehicle GSLV and horizontally like the retired satellite launch vehicle and augmented satellite launch vehicle ASLV. Consider the following statements. India is founding member of Global Tiger Forum. So far, only two tiger reserves in country have got CATS international accreditation. All the tiger range countries are member of the Global Tiger Forum. Two is absolutely out of them. Two तो बिल्कुल ही गलत है. देखता हूँ. Let's see. Only and only one is right answer. India is one of the founding members of the international intergovernmental platform of tiger range countries of Global Tiger Forum. It is home to 52 tiger reserve, approximately 75,000 in the 18 states with approximately 75% population of wild tiger at global level. And so far, 17 tiger reserve in country have got CATS international accreditation and 2 tiger reserve have got international T/2 award. Global Tiger Forum is an international intergovernmental body exclusively set up for the conservation of tigers in the wild in the range country and out of 13 range countries, 7 are currently members of GTF: Bangladesh, Bhutan, Cambodia, India, Myanmar, Nepal, Vietnam. Besides non-tiger like UK, the secretariat is based on New Delhi. Consider the following statement about Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana Urban PAM PMAYU. It is implemented as a centrally sponsored scheme. One of the verticals under the scheme includes C2 slum redevelopment with private sector participation, affordable rental housing complex that provide ease of living to the urban migrants is a sub scheme under the PMAU. Yes, of course, but this is centrally sponsored. I think three is absolutely right. One, two, and three all are correct. Mission is implemented centrally sponsored scheme. Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana Urban, a class of vertical of Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana Urban, which is being implemented as a central sector scheme. So this is a part of except the class vertical, except the class vertical. It's totally Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana Urban is totally not totally, but some of its part is central sector. For the verticals of PMA view, it's C2 in situ slum redevelopment. This vertical will be implemented with the concept land as a resources with the private sector participation for providing house to eligible slum dwellers, affordable housing through credit linked subsidies class, beneficiaries of EWS, LIG, MIG seeking housing loan from banks, housing finance companies, and other such institutions for requiring acquiring new construction or enhancement of the house are eligible for an interest subsidy. Affordable housing through the partnership. An affordable housing project can be mixed of the house for the different categories, but it will be eligible for central assistance if at least 35% of the house in the project in EWS category. Beneficiary-led individual house construction (BLC) central assistance up to 1.5 lakh per EWS house is provided to eligible family belonging to EWS categories for individuals house construction enhancement. Initiative under the PMAYU Affordable Rental Housing Complex. It is a sub-scheme under the PMAYU. This will provide ease of living to urban migrants, poor in the industrial sector, as well as in non-formal urban economies to get access to dignified, affordable, and rental housing close to their workplace. Global housing technology challenges. It aims to identify the mainstream a basket of innovative construction technology from across the globe for the housing construction sector that are sustainable, eco-friendly, and disaster resilient. Consider the following statement about Vice President. Once again, the Electoral College of BP does not include the members of state legislative assemblies. The oath of the Vice President is administered by the President. Like any other member of Rajya Sabha, Vice President holds office for a term of 6 years. No, no, no. Three is incorrect. Only and only three is the right answer. I mean, incorrect answer. Electoral College of Vice President is different from the Electoral College for the election of the President in India in two respects. In it consists both elected as well as nominated members of the Parliament. In the case of President, only elected members. It does not include the members of the state legislative assembly. In case of President, elected members of the state legislative assembly are included. Before entering upon his office, the vice president has to make and subscribe to an oath affirmation. In his oath, the vice president swears to bear true faith and allegiance to the Constitution of India and to faithfully discharge the duties of his office. The oath of the office to the vice president is administered by the president or some person appointed in the behalf of him. The vice president holds the office for a term of 5 years from a date on which he enters upon his office. NIPAM is an initiative of India aims at NIPAM. Only on C the right answer. National Intellectual Property Awareness Mission (NIPAM) has achieved a target of imparting intellectual property awarenesses in the basic training of 1 million students. 31st July 2022, ahead of the deadline which has 15th August 2022. NIPAM, a flagship program to impart IP awarenesses and basic training, was launched on 8 December 2021 as a part of Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav celebrations. The program is being implemented by Intellectual Property Office, the Office of Controller General of Patents, Design and Trademarks, Ministry of Commerce and Industry. Consider the following statement related to National Curriculum Framework (NCF). National Curriculum Framework is published by University Grant Commission. One of the components of National Curriculum Framework is the language formula system to be allowed across the India. 3 language formula. I think only and only B is the right answer. You know National Curriculum Framework (INCF) 2005 is the fourth National Curriculum Framework published in 2005 by the National Council of Education, Research and Training (NCERT) in India, and its predecessor were published in 1975, 1988, 2000. Three language formula system to be followed. Medium of communication should be home language. The first language to be studied at must be mother tongue or regional language. The second language is Hindi speaking states. Second language will be some other modern Indian language or English or in non-Hindi speaking states. The second language will be Hindi or English. The third language will in Hindi speaking states. The third language will be English or modern Indian language, not studied as the second language. In a non-Hindi speaking states, the third language will be English or a modern Indian language, not studied as the second language. Consider the following statement with respect to lumpy skin disease. It is an infectious disease in the cattle caused by a virus of the family Poxviridae. Poxviridae. The disease is known to affect humans coming into contact with infected animals, which are the correct. I think both, not only one and two, only one. It is an infectious disease in the cattle caused by a virus of the family that is Pox viridae, is also known as Nethalling virus. The disease is spread primarily by beating insects such as certain species of flies, mosquitoes, and possibly ticks. The disease can also be spread by fomites through such as things as contaminated equipments and in some cases directly from animal to animal. It does not pose a risk to health. Union Ministry of Agriculture and Farmers Welfare Sri Narendra Singh Tomar today launched the indigenous vaccine Lumpy Provac gland to protect the livestock from lumpy skin disease. Think about the Indian Ocean dipole. Indian Ocean dipole phenomenon is characterized by a difference in the sea surface temperature between the western pole of the Arabian Sea and the eastern pole of the eastern Indian Ocean south of the Indonesia. With a negative IOD, winds over the Indian Ocean blow from east to west, making Arabian Sea much warmer than the eastern Indian Ocean around the Indonesia. An IOD phenomenon can influence the El Nino's impact on the monsoon. Only 1 and 3 should be answer. Indian Ocean dipole, that means Indian Nino, is defined as the differences in sea surface temperature between the western pole of the Arabian Sea and the eastern pole of the south of the Indonesia, which has impact on the climate of Australia and other nations in the Indian Ocean basin. With the positive IOD winds over the Indian Ocean blow from east to west from Bay of Bengal towards the Arabian Sea. This is result the Arabian Sea, Western Indian Ocean near the African coast being much warmer, and the Eastern Indian Ocean around the Indonesia become colder and dry. In a negative dipole year, reverse happens, making Indonesia much warmer and rainer. It was demonstrated that the positive IOD index often the effect of INSO, negated the effect of INSO, resulting in increased the monsoon rains in several INSO years like 1983, 1994, 1997. Australia experienced cold winters due to the negative Indian Ocean dipole. Consider the following statements. Perceived harm to religious practice was triggered for the 1806 Vellore revolt. Richard Wellesley was the governor of Madras at the time of Vellore revolt. During the Vellore revolt, Tipu Sultan's second son Fateh Haidar was declared king. Which are the correct about Vellore revolt? Richard Wellesley. I think B is the right answer. 1 and 3. As in the case of 1857 uprising, perceived harm to religious practices was trigger for the Vellore revolt, which broke out in the early hours of July 1806. Another similarities between events of 1806 and 1857 was that Hindu and Muslim were on the same page while fighting the British. As in the case of 1857, wherein a Muslim titular Mughal Emperor Bahadur Shah Jafar was proclaimed as the leader of the Vellore revolt, saw its participating, declaring Tipu Sultan's second son Fateh Haidar as a king. William Bentinck, governor of Madras, was recalled owing to consequences of revolt. Vellore revolt. William Bentinck. Consider the following statements. Asiatic lions is naturally found in India only. The status of Asiatic lion is IUCN red list is critically endangered. Just A is the right answer. Incorrect. Statement B is incorrect. At the present, Asiatic lion is naturally found in India only. Naturally, only and only India. Asiatic lions were once distributed upon the state of Bengal in the east and Rewa in MP in central India. At present, Gir National Park and Wildlife Sanctuary is the only abode of Asiatic lion. The last surviving population of Asiatic lions is compact. tract of dry deciduous forest and open grassy scrublands in southwestern part of Saurashtra region of Gujarat. Listed in Schedule 1 of the Wildlife Protection Act 1972 in Appendix 1 of the sites and endangered on IUCN Red List. World Lion Day. Consider the following statements regarding the provisions of Panchayat Extension to Scheduled Areas Act 1996 PESA Act. PESA is an act to provide for the extension of the provisions of Part 9A of the Constitution. All the 10 states which are a part of 5th schedule have notified the PESA rules. No. Only A is the right answer. Neither one nor Part 9. This is not Part 9. The provision of the Panchayat Extension Schedule Act 1996 or PESA rule, a law, is enacted by the Government of India to ensuring the self-governance through the traditional Gram Sabha for people living in the scheduled areas of India. It provides for the extension of provisions of the Part 9, only 9 of the Constitution relating to Panchayat and the scheduled areas. PESA was viewed as a positive development for the tribal communities in scheduled areas that had earlier suffered tremendously from engagement with modern development processes and operation of both the colonial laws and status made in independent India. The implementation of PESA Act depends on the state-specific rules. So far, only 7 states have notified these rules. The recent most state is Chhattisgarh. Nebulous, a place recently where it is nebulous. It's in Ukraine. No, it's in Palestine. Nebulous, yeah, nebulous, nebulous, नहीं है, nebulous, nebulous is a Palestine city in the West Bank, located Jerusalem. It is located between the Mount Ebal and Mount Gerizim. It is the capital of the Nablus government. The past week has witnessed a fresh round of violence between Israel and Gaza.